Hello and welcome. What the? Oh, sorry about that. Hello and welcome back to the 6th episode of What is K-pop, where we discuss, what is K-pop, and we talk about different groups and their members and discographies and the companies behind them, and just generally just talking about whatever we want to in connection to eventually answer the question of what is K-pop. And I feel like I just need to clarify, like, what on earth just happened. Basically, I was just eating my lunch just now, and I had a crisp stuck to my cardigan. Yeah, and I don't know what happened there. But anyway, the topic we are going to be talking about today is the group behind Hype Boy, Attention, Cookie, Hurt, Oh My God, or OMG, Ditto, Zero, Super Shy, ETA, Get Up, Cool With You, and did I say Super Shy already? Yeah. It's NewJeans. I think I might have said it. Oh my god! Oh, you can tell how much I don't. Oh yeah, they also have a song called it's actually called NewJeans. But yeah, we are talking about NewJeans today, which is the latest girl group to come out of Hybe, and they are technically signed under a subsidiary called ADOR, but they like it's considered that they're just signed under Hybe just because of the fact that, like, to be honest, it does just feel like all of those companies are just Hybe now. They've just been taken over by Hybe, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but it's some people do think it's a bad thing. And also, just as like a quick news little update, because I was talking to my sister about this and she said that I should like update people on news if I want to. Obviously it was announced a few people who are of age are going to be enlisting to the military soon, so I'm going to say goodbye to Minghyun, I think his name is. That's how you say his name. From New East, and Sung Kang from, well, he's an actor, but he was most recently in the drama My Demon, and yeah, and it was actually recently announced that Hybe is making a vie to, let me just get the exact, yeah. Hybe will acquire all of Lee Soo-man's remaining shares in SM. And honestly, my personal opinion, because I know that, it might sound like it's just a general opinion, but it's actually my opinion that this sort of stuff kind of just happens in companies or like businesses more than you'd think, actually. People buy out shares a lot more frequently than you'd actually probably initially think, and that's not a bad thing. That's just natural, actually. It's pretty common. But I do understand kind of where the concern, or I guess the annoyance, has come from, because of how much Hybe seems to be taking over K-pop. But to be honest, it is actually a very, very, very common thing for businesses to take over, or at least buy out shares of another company, in the event of, like, I don't know, the company who's buying the shares being able to provide more of a service to the company that is being bought out. And to be honest, like, I see where the annoyance comes from, just because of the fact that, you know, it isn't the first time that Hype's tried to buy the shares. But I think that obviously Hype knows what they're doing, and they understand kind of the weight of their actions in that sense, and that they're only going to be doing this for the betterment of both their business and also SM, even if it doesn't seem to be the best choice in the moment. The chances are, with something sorry, I don't know whether or not that just cut out for a second then. I just had like connection issues. I've forgotten that. Yeah. Like it's the betterment of the both companies, because if SM was to kind of, I don't know, like shut down and stuff, or, you know, go bankrupt and all of its funds get liquidated and all that good stuff, or not good stuff, but you know what I mean. But, you know, the chances are that before that has happened, all of the artists who are signed to SM are going to be moved over to Hype, or, you know, they'll be moved somewhere. But the likelihood of a company that large, or at least that influential, isn't, like, the likelihood of them crumbling isn't likely, because of how much time and money has been spent in it. It's like, it's too big to completely fail, if that makes any sense. So I don't think that this is something that really needs to be like terribly worried about, because it's gonna be okay, hopefully, you know. And if you think about it, like when Hype bought out shares of Pledis improved. But you know, we had obviously G-Friend disband and Newest disband, but G-Friend, I think G-Friend was gonna disband anyway, regardless of probably what Hype was doing, you know, because when, like, you don't really want to have too many groups to think about, probably, I don't know. But 17 have done so much better. Actually, no, what am I talking about? G-Friend isn't signed under Pledis. G-Friend's signed under Source. What am I talking about? Oh my god. I'm so sorry if you were just listening to that and thought to yourself, what is Sophie talking about? Oh my gosh, I have a headache, so I probably should have taken something for it before I started. So we're just going to do that now. But like, oh my gosh, I am so unbelievably sorry about that. But yeah, no, my point still stands of that. G-Friend disbanding was probably in the cards for Source Music to do that anyway, regardless of what the members wanted to do. Pardon me. Because they wanted to focus their efforts on debuting the Seraphim. I am so sorry about just talking nonsense for a second just then. I got Source and Pledis mixed up. Very sorry about that. But anyway, back to what I was actually talking about, Pledis. Okay. Pledis, they had re-signed with New East for the first time back at the start of 2020, and essentially what that means is that they obviously it literally just means that they re-signed with them. Like, it doesn't need to be explained more than that probably, but I mean, if we're gonna be like if we're gonna, talk more about it. Newest obviously said to Pledis, we trust you enough to say, like, we want to carry on this relationship. We want to carry on working with you. So we're going to say, like, oh, we want to carry on working with you for X amount of years. However many years this, goes on for, and then we'll reassess kind of what you think are, like, what our, like, work is going to be like, and whether or not we want to kind of re-sign to carry on doing that. Which is a fair enough kind of thing to do, because, if you have a group and you don't think that group is gonna, succeed in the current, like, climate, you're probably not gonna want to re-sign them. So Pledis were probably like, we don't know how long, because you have to remember they also re-signed when COVID was kind of just starting up, so obviously all their plans would have kind of changed anyway, and they probably the members of New East probably didn't want to kind of put themselves out there, just in case, like, I don't know, like, something else kind of happened. And I think Aaron, one of the members of New East, what even is today's episode? Oh yeah, it's about NewJeans. I think Aaron just didn't want to carry on being an idol, because he's not carried on. He now does a podcast with a former member of a group whose name is escaping me right now, but his name is the idol's name is Joel J. Lane, and he does the Korean Cowboys podcast on Spotify too. So I think when it kind of came to starting those negotiations, they were probably like, we just don't see where this is where this is going. I think we all kind of want to move on with our lives and just kind of leave New East where it is, which, is a fair enough kind of assessment, because you don't want to I nearly said an analogy that's just not appropriate for the internet that I'm not going to say, but it isn't easy to kind of leave something behind that you've done for 10 years. But the ex-members all seem to be doing okay in what they're doing in that respect. So it isn't much of a failure, but I guess, like, the only one that I can kind of, really consider as, like, a massive failure, but this wasn't even before Stray Kids Hype took over, which obviously was Pristin. But, like, Pristin's failure wasn't Hype's fault, nor is New East's, like, not re-signing. So, like, Pledis is succeeding in what they're doing because of the fact that 17 are doing so well, and kind of having the chance to have SM under their company as well is actually very advantageous for everyone involved, since all of the people under SM are going to be able to benefit from everything that Hype has to offer, even if it might not seem like it at this moment, given what has happened with other subsidiaries, like, you know, when I just started randomly thinking that G-Friend was signed under Pledis, not remembering that they were under Source Music. But yes, what we are here to do today is actually talk about a completely different group under a completely different sub-label called NewJeans. Obviously, I said it at the beginning. Completely forgetting. Oh my! Sorry, I was just looking at the ages of the new TWS, the new group under Pledis. How old is? Oh my, they are young. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, that was completely sidetracked. What am I talking about? Yes. Talking about NewJeans. NewJeans is a girl group who debuted on the Can We Go Down on my notes. Because I actually did notes. Are you proud? Yeah. They released their debut single Attention on the 22nd of July 2022. Instantly blew up, and then obviously as the new songs kind of were released, they subsequently kind of were a success, but I would say Attention and Hype Boy were the main kind of things that you think of when you think of NewJeans in their debut era. They came out with 2 additional songs called Cookie and Hurt, and on my opinion, literally just myself, no one else has to agree with my opinion on this, I would have to say that I like Hurt the most, be it because of the fact that it's mainly in English, might be the reason why I like it. But I feel like it's the least, it's the most, like the songs that I listen to a lot, because I listen to like a very diverse range of songs, because my actual like favorite song from NewJeans is Get Up, and then it's Super Shine, and then it's Heart and Hype Boy, and you know, so on and so forth, until kind of get to the ones that I don't like, which I mean, it's not that to say that those songs aren't good, it's just, you know, personal opinion and all that good stuff. But yeah, they made their official debut on the 1st of August 2022, and like over a year and a half ago, which will make them in a year's time no longer rookies. Which, I mean, to be fair, are they really rookies anymore, considering everything they've done for K-pop? I know you'd have to be the judge of that. On to the members. There are 5 members, and they are as follows. We have Minji, who was born on the 7th of May 2004. Hani, who was born on the 6th of October 2004. Then we have Danielle, who was born on the 11th of April 2005. Hayrin, who was born on the 15th of May 2006. And then we have Haein, who was born on the 21st of April 2008. I'm so used to saying like the 19s that now it's just like automatic. It's not even fucking funny. But yes, all of the NewJeans members, I'm pretty sure, have siblings. We're just gonna run through the notes. Yeah, that seems to all check out. Yep. The weirdest thing is that I will say this in my notes. It has about Haein, and it's so weird to see that she has 2 older siblings, and they're all, and I think both of them would be younger than me. Or I don't know, actually. I don't know whether or not Hayen's oldest sister is younger or older than me, because she was born in 2003 and her brother was born in 2005. So there could be a very real possibility that she is actually younger or older than me. Hayen was also announced to be a brand ambassador for Louis Vuitton, and she is the youngest at the time at 14 years old. Which, I mean, that kind of scares me. You know what I was doing at 14? Of course you don't know what I was doing at 14. It was 2017. And I had just started. What did I start then? My year 10. So for anyone who's not from the UK, that's like the first year of like our exam years. We do like 2 sets of like required exams in our time of school when we get qualifications, and the first set are called GCSEs, or General Certificate of Secondary Education, and I was just starting the first year of that. I know it's like now extended to 3 years, just to make sure you get through the content and kind of, I guess, reduce like stress. But to be fair, and I've said this on record, I've said it to teachers actually, that if I had done my GCSEs for 3 years, I genuinely don't know how I would have, gotten through school, or whether or not I'd have actually left a lot sooner than I did before. But after those 2 years, when you're 16, you sit a set of like, I think I had like 20 exams or something egregious like that, where you sit like a bunch of exams all about the subjects that you did, and whatever grade you get in, quite a lot of those qualifications are just your grade in that subject. Quite a lot of them are just exam based. And I actually did all of my exams, got my results when I was only 15 years old, and that's due to the fact that I was born quite late into August, and I actually got my exam results 4 days before I turned 16, and I cried because I failed. Yeah. But I will say this, Hayen's not even turned 16 yet, and she's already doing so much with her life, and honestly, if she does listen to this, which I sincerely doubt, but if she is, Hayen, I'm sorry that, you get a lot of hate for being so young, and that I hope you don't take it too much to heart. It is just subjective. You clearly are very, very talented, and you should, utilize that talent for as much as you can do. Please just do be aware, though, that there is like a possibility of you, when you get to being, I'm going to say being really cringy just now, but like in 4 years' time, when you are my age, being 20 years old, there is a real possibility that you don't have as much will and desire to keep doing what you're doing. But, you've got 4 other girls around you who are going through the same things. And I hope that, with whatever you kind of decide to do in the future, that you can lean on them for support, and just know that, there are people out there who do want the best for you, and don't ever feel like you have to do something just to please other people, because, your talents are special, and that they should be utilized and displayed by the right people, or they should be respected by the right people. So don't feel like you ever have to perform or performing an outfit that you don't feel comfortable in. You don't have to do a concept you don't feel comfortable in, or you don't have to resign if you don't feel comfortable with that. Always just weigh up every single option that you have, and know that there are people who will help if you do need it. And that goes for all the members. Please just be aware that I know you are young and that you have been in this industry for over a year and a half now, but just know that, you know, even people who have been in it for like 20 plus years can still be manipulated or taken advantage of. And just kind of talk amongst yourself about everything that you have to do. And if it doesn't feel right, then please, you know, talk to each other and kind of figure out a way to, you know, help yourself and not have to do something that you feel uncomfortable with doing. That felt very philosophical. Basically, the TLDR, or too long didn't listen. Basically, just stay safe out there. There are people who, you know, might not have your best interest at heart. Just talk to each other, and you'll get to do the right thing. Don't worry. Next member, let's just move on. I feel awkward now. Helen, yeah, we're just gonna say it like that. She has a younger sister born in 2009, so maybe about 3 years older. And Hayrin, quite a few of the members are actually like fully Korean, by the way. I should just mention that. So is Haein. Hayrin is Korean, and she was born in Pyeongchon, Godanggu in Anyang, or the Gyeonggi-do province of South Korea. I'm so sorry to anyone who is from there. I just butchered your names. I'm so sorry. But to be fair, I'm very bad at even English names too, so please do not feel sad. You know, I still get a lot of English names mixed up. But yeah. Hayrin is... all of the members can speak English, and I'm pretty sure Hayrin's is as good as Danielle's, but to be fair, I should also point out here, if you haven't listened to the other episodes, yeah, did I introduce myself? Yeah, I did, I don't know, I can't remember, I'm tired. What was I saying? I don't watch a lot of, like, variety content. I've only watched the medical episodes of 80s is 1Ts, and I've watched a couple of parts of 17's stuff, and I watched clips of Run BTS, and I tried to watch the one with Zykas in it, and I watched a bit of In Hyphens, but to be fair, I'ma just be real and honest right here, right now. I understand why people want to watch it, but I am not one of those people because of the fact that my attention span is horrible. I can't focus for the life of me, so I just can't do that sort of stuff. And also quite often, how they're speaking is just how they speak naturally. They're not like scripted, so their accents often make it kind of hard for me to focus on what's going on. I don't even know why I started to talk about this stuff. My attention span is just not even a thing. I love that. Oh yes. What my point is that I've not listened to much of like the members of NewJeans speaking, so I don't know how their English speaking is. Obviously, I know that Danielle is Korean Australian, but you know, you can still like lose your accent if you've lived in a different country for X amount of time. For me personally, I've only ever lived in one place, but I pick up accents from different people, which is probably why some of my words kind of get a bit muddied with different accents sometimes, just in case you were like, why is she speaking like that? Where is she from? Canonically in the universe of which I talk about my life. I say on my TikTok I live in a little town just about 18 miles outside of Bath. I don't actually. I live up north a little bit, but just for privacy reasons, I say I live in a little town near Bath, about 18 miles away from Bath. So, yeah, that should give you some context to potentially where my accent's from. Anyway, stop getting distracted, Sophie. We are talking about NewJeans. Next member. I'm going from the youngest to the oldest for some reason, don't know why. But the next member is Danielle Marsh, or Moji Hay. She was born in 2005. Her Chinese zodiac sign is the rooster. I am the goat. I am a goat. Funny thing is that I've never eaten that sort of meat before. That's a weird fact for you. Don't know why I decided to mention that. I know, living in the countryside, it's probably a question that I'm sure other people would ask in connection to, oh, what have you had living in the countryside your whole life? Eating that sort of stuff is not common at all. I will say that. I don't. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. I don't live totally in the countryside. I live kind of in between a lot of like cities, in just like a town that also has like villages around it, some fields and stuff, but farming isn't really a thing that like a lot of families do from where I live. In fact, I know no people who are actual farmers. So in that respect, we get all of the food that we buy from the supermarket and the odd farmer's market. So, yeah. Where did I get onto this topic? I feel like what we're discovering on this podcast is that I might actually have ADHD, because I will literally just like hop, skip, and jump over so many like conversations that I feel like I'm going insane trying to keep track of it all. When did I get onto this topic? I don't know. We're just going to move on. We're going to try and get through Danielle's without having another tangent going off of. Danielle was born in Musan in Paju, as well in Gyeonggi-do in South Korea, but I think she moved back and forth, or like went back and forth between South Korea and Australia, which means she has an Australian accent when she talks in English, or it might just be from potentially her dad, who is Australian. Danielle has an older sister who was born in 2000, and she speaks English and Korean, obviously. Otherwise, it would probably be harder for her to communicate with her members. But I mean, there is always that like thing between, like, this is a relevant tangent. We're going to go off on a relevant tangent. All the members of Wavy speak different languages with different people, so the chances probably would be, if a member didn't speak English or a member didn't speak Korean, is that the member who only speaks English would talk to someone who speaks both English and Korean, and to the member who only speaks Korean, the the bilingual person would speak that language to the other person, which would probably be what they did to start off with. Daniel's surname is actually also very, very rare in South Korea, just because of the likelihood of it being quite a rare one to start off with when surnames were starting to be developed in developmental times of that sort of stuff. Since the most common surnames are Kim and Che or Choi and Park. So the likelihood is that less people gave themselves the surname of Mo, and so as time has gone on, it's just carried on being quite a rare surname for people to have. She also sleeps with her socks on. I did note that one down, and I actually did that a lot as a kid. Like, I went for a period of about 6 months where I couldn't sleep if I didn't have socks on. And I told my sister that, and she didn't speak to me for the rest of the day because she was so disgusted in the idea of sleeping with socks on. Which I'm like, fair enough. It's a weird habit that I had. I don't do it anymore because I get too hot. My feet get too hot, and I end up getting myself like when you end up getting too hot at night and you end up having a nightmare. That's happened to me quite a lot due to wearing socks in bed. Second to last member we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to talk about their concept and just how I generally feel about NewJeans, is the next member is Hani, or Hani Pham. That sounds very inappropriate now that I'm saying it out loud with my accent. Oh my lord. I'm not going to attempt her Vietnamese name, just because from experience of saying Thai names, I'm not that good. So we're not even going to attempt. However, I can see the connection between Hani's stage name and her Vietnamese name. So, I actually think it's quite common for those names to be kind of interlinked with each other, so then it's easier for the person to then be able to recognize when people are talking to them. But I can't say the same for my, what I would consider to be my Korean name, because Sophie in English is what Jihae means in Korean. So I just researched what my name means in English, and then I just put that through a translator, came up with Jihae. I don't know whether or not that would be what people consider to be my Korean name if I was to actually ask a Korean, but you know what? At this point, I would never be going to Korea anyway. And, just having that name and then giving it to characters in my fanfiction makes me feel better about my life. So, yeah, I do kind of wonder if maybe there would be a Korean name that's kind of similar to Sophie out there. If any Korean people are listening to this, I doubt you would be, but if you are, feel free to comment down below or wherever what you'd think my Korean name should be. Ethnically, Hani is ethnically fully Vietnamese, so both her parents are from Vietnam, and she was raised as a Catholic. She's trilingual in Vietnamese, English, and Korean. Obviously, she probably also learned how to greet herself in different languages, but it's obviously a different kettle of fish when you say you speak a language, or you can just introduce yourself in a different language. Fun fact, I for some reason had it drilled into me for so many years. of introducing myself in French and my age in French when I was in year 7, that I often just said the first like greeting I knew. And I'm sure some people would be like, "You're still 11?" I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm 13." But you know, and then it would be like, "Well, that's not right then, Sophie. You need to say 13 in French." But the memories are sieve, and if you're gonna drill into an 11-year-old how to say their name in French and say their age in French, and you're gonna have to expect that they're not gonna learn anything different when they turn a different age. But yeah, it was Je m'appelle Sophie. J'ai 11 ans. J'ai 11 ans. Pretty sure that's just my name is Sophie. My age is 11, or I'm 11 years old, or something like that. I'm so sorry to any French people who were just like, that is the most butchered way you could ever speak my language. Please do not ever do it again. And I'd agree with you, because we obviously speak in a very specific accent in accordance to where we grew up, me and my classmates, when we were learning it. Like, my teacher was just like, "You speak literally French in the exact same way you speak English. This is mental." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That's the problem, is that we live here. Most of us have never really left the country, or really maybe possibly even left our county. So I'm sorry about that, but that's just the way that life is." Yeah. Word. Yeah, completely irrelevant. We need to get on with this, otherwise I am actually probably going to lose my mind. She's considered, Honey is considered Vietnamese Australian. However, the Australian part is only due to where she was born. I think in some cases, like someone's nationality is based on their parents' nationality and then where they were born. So the Sprouse twins, they could live in Italy if they wanted to, because they were born over there, but they are Americans. Same with Millie Bobby Brown. She was born in Spain, but she lives in America too, obviously, because that's like where she shoots most of her stuff. But yeah, she is British. So Hanny was born in Melbourne, in the Victoria province or state, or like part of Australia. She has a younger sister who was born in 2007, and that's everything that I have. She was also the first Vietnamese idol under Hybe, and hopefully the first of many, because you know what, K-pop isn't just for Koreans, as we now know from there's this new group that's debuting under Hybe from the Dream Academy, a TV program called Cat's Eye. And if I'm just gonna interject with my opinion of on that, the first time I heard that name, I thought of a katsu curry. I'm just going to be honest there. Maybe that's what everyone else thought. Maybe I'm being highly disrespectful. I'm sorry, but that is just what I thought instantly when I heard that for the first time. Okay, last member, Minji. She was born in 2004, like I said, and she has a older brother and a younger sister. But it doesn't say how their years, so obviously Minji probably hasn't revealed that, which is perfectly fine. You know, you got to have some level of privacy in this world, and that's how she gets that. She was born in Chuncheon in the Gangwon province of South Korea. She was a former Source Music trainee, joining in the second year of middle school, and she was the face of the global auditions where all the rest of the members joined from, which I actually find that terrifying. That is some deep, sci-fi stuff that, I would just leave instantly once I found out. She also homestayed in Canada in elementary school. I don't know when that would be for Koreans. She was there to study English. Oh no! She doesn't like mint chocolate chip? I love mint chocolate chip! Well, she also doesn't like Hawaiian pizza, which is fine because Hawaiian pizza is strange. It's salty and sweet and just weird in so many ways that I don't like it. My parents love to buy like cans of chopped pineapple for themselves to eat with like glacé cherries, or like these ones you can get in like a jar, and they're always trying to say to me like, oh Sophie, you should try pineapple, or oh Sophie, you used to eat a lot of pineapple when you were younger. I used to eat a lot of things when I was younger until I discovered that I actually hate the texture of them, and I just, powered through it because I wanted to eat it, because I wanted to be with my parents. So, no, I don't like Hawaiian pizza either. I also don't really like ham. Ham is extremely salty to me. Just that particular thing, just ham, really. I'm fine with pork and such and that sort of random thing. I don't like bacon either. That's a weird thing. My parents are also always just like, Sophie, why don't you eat a bacon sandwich with us? And I'm like, I don't like bacon. That's the thing, is that I just don't like it. Yeah, that's a thing. As for my opinion on the group as a whole, like I said when I was doing a little message to Heian, I think it's like, I know how it sounds, but I don't want them to be too famous too quickly, because I want them to have the experience of being a child. I want them to, be young and experience life and not have to worry about things. However, at the end of the day, they did choose to be a part of this. They convinced their parents, they auditioned, they got through, and the company chose them, and, this, that, and the other, and we kind of do have to respect that. But even so, it still doesn't make it okay, the fact that they are so young and kind of, like, I don't want to sound rude or anything, but they're kind of inexperienced of life to then be able to then be thrust into the world that is K-pop. And I don't want them to kind of feel like they have to kind of throw away everything that, makes them like the ages that they are, because we only get so much time to be like kids and stuff. We only get like 18 years to be a kid, and for some people, that's so much shorter. Like my sister, she had to grow up very, very quickly to take care of me when she was only 10 years old, and I had to kind of grow up quite quite quickly when my mum was ill as well, but to a lesser extent. But also I had to grow up when my mental health started to dip and stuff when I was only 13. And, I don't, like, the thing is that it isn't up to me kind of which members are in the group, because I was just looking as I was talking about the TWS members, and they're all kind of the same age. And it's like, I understand from a business point of view of wanting idols that are young so that you have more time with them. But, there does come a time when, you might not actually want to do the things that you wanted to do when you were a child. Like for me, I had so many desires to be so many different things when I was young. But now, as a 20-year-old, I have no idea what I want to do with my life. And this is the time when I should know what I want to do with my life. And, there is a very real possibility that come 5 years' time, when Heian is the same age as me, and she's like, I don't think I want to carry on being a K-pop idol. Like, what is she gonna do then? Like, are the members of NewJeans kind of going to be sympathetic towards that? Are they going to be okay with Heian like moving on if she wants to move on, or is Min Hee-jin kind of going to be like, well, I made you this successful, like you can't just abandon this now, you've got to kind of see through the rest of your contract, or all of your other members want to carry on, you can't just abandon them. But obviously I don't know what Hee-jin is actually like in real life, and I'm not going to speculate as to her personal behaviour. Like, I have opinions on her, but I'm not going to share them here, just because I know that I don't have the full picture on who she actually is as a real person, and I don't want to, go around throwing accusations of anything around. But speaking only from my own personal experience, as someone who's never been pushed into doing anything in her life at all, other than obviously doing her schoolwork, I can say for certain that being able to just live your life is such a precious thing when you are that young, and kind of being able to kind of say that I did experience, what I wanted to experience at that time, and I know that I don't want to do certain things for the rest of my life, means that I can now observe as a 20-year-old kind of the stuff that I do and I don't want to do. Like, for example, I don't want to be like a proper full-on author. Like, I don't want to be a book writer for the rest of my life. I know I don't want to go into textiles, like as in like making clothes or anything, for the rest of my life. Like, I did that stuff in school, and I wrote stories like outside of school, but I know I don't want to do that for the rest of my life. But it's only because I did that stuff that I know that I don't want to do it later on. And I wonder if Heian is going to get to my age and kind of be like, I don't want to perform on stage. Like, I still want to be a part of the industry, but I don't think I want to do the performing part of it. And I wonder kind of how, that's gonna kind of go for, at least the company and maybe even the members, just knowing how quickly they became famous, and honestly, how much I kind of don't see them like lasting. Because honestly, from looking at what kind of happened with at least Hype Boy and Attention, and then later on with Ditto and OMG, like, I don't think that they're gonna, have the same kind of response come their next release as it did with those first two, especially with kind of, I wouldn't even say like bad response, but less enthusiastic response that they got when releasing Get Up, their second EP. Because when Attention and Hype Boy came out, they were brand new. They were like a random group that came out of a random sub-label of Hive and stuff. There was no anticipation for them, not like, Le Seraphim, because Le Seraphim, they had members who the public knew. They knew what their sound was, and they knew kind of, I'm so sorry, they knew what to expect from at least a few of the members. And then they, understood kind of the other three members' perspectives, like going into, the teasers and stuff. But because of how different NewJeans were, they almost blew up to the point where they now don't possibly have anywhere else that they can go really at this point, because they've shown everything. Like you only get one chance at a first impression is what I'm trying to say. And I wonder if perhaps that first impression was so good that ADOR doesn't know how to replicate that, because I didn't see that much in the way of like massive success with songs like Cool With You and ETA and NewJeans and Super Shy as I did with Hype Boy and Attention. And I wonder if maybe they were trying to have those four songs, like at least Super Shy and ETA, kind of be the new versions of Attention and Hype Boy, and then kind of having the other three songs and Get Up and having the two other like full songs as like the Heart and Cookie of what they did, and then just having Get Up being like an interlude between. Oh, pardon me, oh my, I'm so sorry. Having Get Up being like the interlude between kind of this is like being like, this is like our new versions of Hype Boy and Attention. Here's like a little interlude, and here's the Cookie and the Heart for 2023. But to be fair, like I didn't see like the continued like love for the songs so many months afterwards as I did for their debut, and especially with Ditto and OMG. So I wonder if like come whenever they release something new, if it is going to be at the same caliber as it was kind of before, and if they are able to replicate what they did at their debut, when it comes to releasing what might possibly be their like debut album. Because even though like NewJeans is a little bit of a younger group, I'd say that a good comparison between like where Hype thinks that they're progressing on is Le Seraphim, of just that Le Seraphim, they've had what was it, like 3 EPs, an album, Japanese releases, an English debut, singles. They've had a few promotional ones. Had like English versions of the albums, or like of their latest title track. They've had remixes. They've had other stuff come out. And NewJeans only has 2 EPs and 1 promotional single, for as far as I'm aware. But they're meant to be the bigger group in terms of the public's recognition of it. And I wonder if maybe they're trying to have it be like NewJeans is their global group in terms of like, this is the group that's based off of the Western model of having such a long time between releases, when actually, like, the reason perhaps why it's so successful is because it's like a global group, but a Korean, like the Korean languages in the group, if that makes any sense. So, like, I don't know as to where NewJeans is going, and I don't know how I feel about kind of the group as a whole, going into, the next quarter of the year. If NewJeans is going to release another song, because it's been a good number of months since Get Up was released, and they did release a remixed version of their songs, but that didn't add anything to it, given that they were already released. They just are now remixed. So none of the members have really performed properly on stage probably since the release of Get Up. So I wonder kind of where the direction is that they're going to take, and kind of how they progress into the future with perhaps having a brother group, or whether or not they have a sister group going forward, and kind of if maybe the members have a solo debut, like kind of what happens there. But I'll probably still be like watching, kind of like checking it out, seeing what goes on, because they are a very interesting group, even though all the members are significantly younger than me and make me feel incredibly old, and as though I am worth nothing in this world, considering I haven't done anything that they've done. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty much all of my kind of thoughts and feelings about it. I still can't believe I just blabbed on about G-Friend, thinking that they were under Pledis, but that's very much not. To be fair, all of the subunits, they just melded into one at this point. I think they should all just be under Hybe Music, and just call it a day, and just kind of do it like that, because I got so confused when for a second then, when I was like, oh, they're not under Pledis, are they? But yeah, thank you for allowing me to blabber on for, oh my god, it's nearly been an hour. But yeah, that has been today's episode. It's been all about NewJeans and how a group got so big. One first thing is that after Sunday, which is in another 3 episodes time, these will be probably in daily episodes will end, and it will become every week we'll have probably 2 episodes, or maybe 3 episodes, and they will be centered around other groups and different companies and different discographies, this, that, and the other. I will just be figuring out as I go along, and you lot can kind of come along for the ride, and I should go because I feel like my laptop is actually probably going to give up on me. So I have been Sophie, you have been yourself, you've been listening to the What is a K-pop podcast, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye. Bye for now.